This is the story of Ballajura, one of the stations on the new Ellenbrook railway line. In 2022, the government decided to run a railway line down the centre of the newly constructed Tonkin Highway, which has just been completed in 2019. The Tonkin had just been expanded to 3 lanes both directions and had been extended onto Mouchet and further north. The new Ellenbrook railway line would travel down the centre of the highway as far as Ballajura, then duck under the highway and travel along the south edge of Whiteman Park before turning north to travel along the eastern edge of the park, travelling as far as Ellenbrook. On the 8th of December 2024, that plan became reality. On Sunday the 8th, we had a party for the people to introduce them to the line. Then on Monday the 9th, regular services commenced. 1 week later, we see the train in action. We have just seen it arriving at Whiteman Park Station before proceeding south along the edge of Whiteman Park, then turning east to travel through Ballajura on its way to the city. It is now passing through the natural bushland of Whiteman Park. In this chapter of the story, we'll focus in on the Ballajura station, which was originally to be named Malaga Station. This is my local station, which we'll watch being constructed from 2022 and commissioned in December 2024. It is located on a piece of vacant land bordered by the Tonkin Highway, Reed Highway and Beachvale Road North. you'll notice that the train is approaching a short downhill slope. The purpose for this will become very apparent later in this story. Long before the Ellenbrook line was conceived, we find ourselves travelling north on Beachborough Road. To our left is the vacant land, which will become the station and its car park. To our east is Whiteman Park, where the train will go through on its way to Ellenbrook. The road in front of us will soon temporarily be closed to allow the construction of a bridge for the train to pass under as it approaches and departs Ballajura station. Just inside of the main western gate of Whiteman Park is a hill on the northern side, which affords a view over the pasture land which will be affected by the Ellenbrook railway line. The Motor Museum's old British car will need to be relocated. There is a herd of cows kept as lawnmowers and a substantial mob of western grey kangaroos. The cows are moved from paddock to paddock on a regular basis, but the kangaroos are free-ranging and have the run of the entire park. Shortly, we'll see how the park rangers have facilitated this. One of my initial concerns was that the railway line is going to cut this pasture land in half, blocking the kangaroos' access to their major food supply. I mentioned this in a community planning meeting I attended, to which the reply was noted. As we will shortly see, the contractors came up with a brilliant solution to the problem. The railway line will run between these paddocks and the tree line in the distance. From our hill, we get to look over where the station will be located, with Perth City in the background as reference. The south side of the future station complex, where the car park will be located, is currently a swamp in winter and a holiday home for up to about 5 horses. The tranquility of the area is only disturbed by Beachborough Road traffic. It looks like this horse thinks I have some treats for him. These ducks look a bit confused by the fence in the middle of their swamp. By the 24th of January 2022, the earth moving equipment has moved in. It's mid-January and all around the ground is dusty and dry, except for the area of our swamp where it's still lush and green, a testimony to our waterlogged soil. The black waterlogged soil has been pushed up into ridges for front-end loaders to empty into dump trucks for storage at the perimeters of the project. A lot of dust is rising from the scrapers, which shows just how dry the soil is away from the swamp. Yellow bricky sand is being trucked in to produce a solid foundation for the project. Beachborough Road is still open for traffic. At the same time as the western side is being prepared, on the opposite side, the future railway track bed is being marked out. The verdant green landscape of winter has given way to the golden grasses of a hot, dry summer. The new track bed is cutting right through the kangaroos' highway, which will have a major impact on their movements. A solution to this dilemma is at hand. This we will see shortly. We will now backtrack several years before the railway was conceived. The date is 2016. The Tonkin Highway terminates at the Reid Highway. This is before the Tonkin, in 2019, was expanded to 3 lanes and extended north through the bushland visible behind the yellow prepare to stop signs. We have now moved into that bushland, about 100 metres north of where the Tonkin terminates. This is where the new North Link, which is the name given to the Tonkin Highway and associated highways which link the northwest of the state with Perth in the southwest, will run. Adjacent to this bush track, to the east, is a large area of yellow sandy cleared land containing 3 lakes. These are not visible from the highways. These lakes have been incorporated into the new Tonkin Reid Highway high-speed interchange and are now visible from the highways. Very few people have actually ventured into this area. It's closed off by high fences on the highways, but is open to people from the local estate, a situation taken advantage of by the four-wheel drivers and trail bikes of the locals. This bushland extends for about 1 kilometre before coming out on the old Hepburn Avenue. In July 2017, the landscapers have moved in, preparing the new highway. Unknown to anybody that time, a few years down the track, the new Ellenbrook railway line will also travel down the centre of that highway. We have now moved forward in time to July 2022. Groundworks for the new Ellenbrook railway line are progressing well. We are just a short distance from that bushland. A duck under is being built to allow the train to pass from the centre line of the highway to duck under the southbound lane of the highway to access Ballajura station. 3 months earlier, Beachborough Road was closed for a year to allow for a new bridge to be built over the railway line. The new bridge is being constructed to the right hand side, that's the east of the old roadbed. The Motor Museum's a poor old British car on the plinth has got nobody to look at it. Soon it will be taken down and stored at the museum for a year before being reinstalled on a plinth on the opposite side of a newly constructed Whiteman Park entrance. In July 22, formwork was being prepared for a concrete pour to construct the southern bridge abutment. A lot of yellow sand has been moved in to form the ramp leading up to the bridge. The old western entrance to Whitemount Park has now been ripped up and a new roadway has been constructed alongside of it. In October 2022, the new rails have been delivered and stored in a locked compound at Caversham on the new track bed at the east end of Whitemount Park. Yellow sand is continually being shipped in, this time in a road train. The southern bridge abutment is now in place, the embankment leading up to it is taking shape, and the formwork is being erected for the northern end of the bridge. We're getting ready for the tracks to be laid. Sleepers are now being delivered. Some U-shaped concrete blocks have been delivered, and I think I know why. It is for the benefit of the kangaroos. Track laying has commenced. They've started with the down line and shortly will be doing the up line. Notice in the centre of the picture how the line goes up a short hill, an embankment. This is made expressly for our kangaroos. Even though kangaroos and cows live in a symbiotic relationship, existing harmoniously with each other, a situation exists where kangaroos are welcome to travel anywhere in the park, but cows are strictly confined to specific areas and moved on to the next area depending on food stocks. This is what they have made for kangaroos. Before we look at this structure, we'll have a look at what they have done throughout the park for the kangaroos. Special kangaroo gates even have been installed throughout the park to allow them to move anywhere at any time. This is what they have done to allow kangaroos to cross the line. The line has been raised up and a special kangaroo tunnel has been constructed to allow them free access to either side of the line. This tunnel appears to be about 1.5 metres tall, too low for cows. It is S-shaped, meaning that it's dark inside. You can tell this from the alignment of the tunnel's fencing. There is a steep embankment about 1.5 metres high on each side to deter cows from even attempting to approach the tunnel mouth. It appears to be working very well. Kangaroos moving easily from one side of the line to the other. Both sides of the bridge abutments have been completed and they've laid one half of the decking. At the same time as Whiteman Park's new western entrance is being constructed, work is fully underway on the new Ballajura station buildings. That long-arm digger in the distance is working on the Tonkin Duck Under, just a short distance from the station. The reopening of Beachbell Road is getting very close. The last stages of the roadwork is now taking place. In a few days' time, on the 12th of December 2023, Beachbell Road will reopen to traffic, much to the delight of two yobbos on unlicensed trail bikes who are so excited to go over the new bridge that they go through a red traffic light to do it. In April 2024, track working equipment is putting the final touches to the new track bed prior to the first train operating. This can be seen on the right hand side of the roadway we are on. In May 2024, we drive over the new bridge. On the right is a set of traffic lights, not yet in service, to allow buses to access the station. By October, the line is now complete. High voltage power has been turned on, the signals are working, and some out-of-service trains are running to test the track and to train new drivers. The first train ran on Sunday, the 8th of December 2024, between Bayswater Station and Ellenbrook Station, a free service for people to see the new project, with scheduled services beginning on Monday the 9th of December 2024. 1 week later, we see a Perth-bound train in Whitewood Park, approaching the Beachbell Road Bridge and Ballajura Station. Here is a reminder that it is high summer, hot, dry and dusty. These new buildings, currently under construction, are the new screen production facility for video and multimedia productions. A footbridge leads off from the western end of the station, overlooking the Tonkin Highway, where we watch an Ellenbrook bound train ducking under the highway before entering the station. I shot this approaching train using my handycam from the elevator at the north side of the station, much to the total indignation of two security guards who challenged my right to film using a handheld camera the size of a tin of baked beans, stating I needed to use a mobile phone instead. I replied, "I'm sorry," for, in the face of such a profound exercise of authority, I decided I had better leave the place, humbly chastised for daring to carry out such a nefarious activity. Today we're seeing how the Ballajura station on the Ellenbrook line came into existence.